Season 4 is just around the corner, and I know many of you are excited about this. Or are you? So the Season 4 Eternal Frost announcement went out a couple of days ago, listing everything that's kind of what's coming up. New story, new pass, new expedition, blah, 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 blah. Now, in general, it's a pretty nice update. However, the response from the community on this hasn't been as positive as I thought the devs would like it to be. Now, a lot of it is based around this dev update video here. Now, if we jump over to Twitter, what we're going to see here is New are posting their dev update with a little bit of a video of the guys talking about the new expedition. Now, most of this kind of disgruntled comments, I think, are coming from a larger picture here. It's not necessarily just the expedition. There's a couple of things about the expedition, but I think across the board, people are a little bit frustrated with New World at the moment. So let's take a little look at these. This is part one, basically, of why I think people are a little bit annoyed with AGS at the moment. So we'll look at these comments here. Comment number one: we all can appreciate a new expedition, but devs need to focus on what players are in need of. Number one, ranked arenas and more maps. Number two, new types of battlegrounds, 10v10, King of the Hill, capture the flag, blah, blah, blah. Number three, we need a change of the economic system. 90% of players buy gold. This is because everything in the endgame is a gold sink. Nothing in the endgame provides gold. Hardest level of PvE mutation, nothing. PvP endgame, nothing. No one wants to farm wood at 4 to 6k an hour. Take elite trials and tune them up and offer gold rewards. The reason I'm reading through these is because there isn't one single positive comment in this entire section here. I'm sure they don't play the game because there are so many things that they should fix. I get it. The problem is to fix the weapon abilities, remove the weapon from the game temporarily, blah, 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 blah. There is so much potential, but so many bad decisions. Fix PvP, fix OPR, fix the bugs, inventory storage management, fix economy. I want the wall artifact and it's still not able to get. You could have got it. That's on you. That's on you. Please change Magnify. I'm sure it's great, but we don't need more expeditions. Fix the bugs, address the balance issues. Taris Land and TNL are coming. Dungeons, more cool loot bosses, PvE crucial to MMOs. This guy actually likes it. Looks like a reskin of Chardis. We'll get into this in a second. Longing for PAX Day. You get the idea. You absolutely get the idea. Even people taking a little bit of an aggressive approach here and asking Scott Lane to resign. Simply shame. You get the idea here. A lot of people are pretty annoyed about this upcoming patch. This is what they're talking about when we're talking about a reskin of Chardis. As you can see here, he does his typical sort of hand movement. It very much feels like a reskin of Chardis, especially this moment when you see him do his hand movements there. I think that's annoyed some people. There is also the reskin of what looks like to be a brute. So the two main bosses in this dungeon are a reskinned brute and a reskinned Chardis. This has aided in sort of the negative opinions here. We'll take a quick look at the YouTube video here. Now, we won't go through the whole video. You guys have seen this. This is a quick look at the brute, if you're wondering what I'm talking about here. Where is he? Where are you, young man? There he is. You can see here, as he pops up, you get a very brutish feel to it. The skin is actually really, really cool. I love it. I have nothing against the reskin, but I think because people haven't seen many new bosses in a while, they're kind of frustrated to see a brute, you know. This is a brute. You've seen it before. He's got slightly different skills, but an exact sort of similar animations. It's a brute. It's a brute. So anyway, what I wanted to do is go through here and show you kind of the comments. So the question here is, what's your favorite boss mechanic? People have responded to this. But one of the top comments here is, each gear set should have its own attribute and weapon masteries. Please add this. This is the top comment, 41 likes. There are others, but nothing comes close to that in terms of response from the community. As you can see here, what I'm trying to point out here is, this is a new expedition coming out. Most people just don't care about it at this point. One of the reasons I think they're doing this is because if we fast forward 2 years down the line, the game is going to have a wealth of fantastic dungeons. You see it in the many MMOs. Lots of PvE, lots of great dungeons. Very, very cool. But I think at the moment, it's just definitely frustrating the current player base because so many people at the moment are just frustrated with the current systems and the current bugs and the current problems that the game still consistently has. So the patch notes are here. The Eternal Frost PTR patch notes. This is what we're going to get to check out first. Now, a lot of these things are going to move over to live. The chance of many things changing on the PTR at these moments are pretty slim. So we're going to go through a couple of these and see why, again, I think people are a little bit annoyed. But there are some good things in here too. We won't dig deep into this, but obviously there's new season 4 artifacts. I think a few people have expressed opinions around the DPS life staff, the artifact bow, which now stuns, the winged boots, which are gonna potentially give like perma haste and things like that. So people have expressed opinions about the artifacts. Whether or not they're going to end up good, we're not too sure yet. A new one which I'm keen to check out: you can now move at the same speed in all directions when not sprinting. So what you'll find is if you're kind of moving forward, backward, left, right, when you go forward you move a little bit faster than when you go left or right or backwards. This is going to be an interesting change. There has been some changes to the worm. Now most people only do the worm currently to get the dark matter. I regularly check out the Discord and I haven't seen too many people asking for changes around this. I think the worm is in a pretty good spot. It's quite difficult unless you have an organized group, and once you have an organized group, it's actually relatively simple as long as people don't mess up the mechanics. So it's quite interesting why they're making some changes here. I kind of don't follow patch notes too much anymore. I kind of get in, play the game, enjoy it for what it is, but every now and then I'll take a little look, and I like to look at things like this. So opal is one of the gems that's, as you can see here, by far the most used gem. Now it's interesting to see here that what they're doing is they're saying, right, because this is the most used gem, what we're going to do is nerf it. I don't know why. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. I do know why. It's because it's a gear chase. We're now going to be encouraged to change our gems, spend money to find alternatives for this. Now, it's not a big deal, but we're losing what? From 15% down to 12%. Reduced damage values from a range of 6 to 15 to a range of 4 to 12% while stamina is not full. What like, there must be a thought process behind this outside of just continuing to push for, you know, gear chase. This is just, for me personally, it's just a random frustrating change. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. Is this a good change? Do you think that they need to do things like this, or do we need to at this point sort of lay off forcing gear chase changes and allow us to kind of, you know, all get ourselves to this, let's call it an end game of gear, and just start doing content together? Now the reason I say this, I'm going to release another video, I might even play it along the side here, of us doing a 20 versus 20. Now a lot of us don't have end game gear, a lot of us don't have BIS gear, 3 perk perfect gear with the perfect gems. We don't have it. It's because it's quite exhausting to get it, but I would like for us to get there, and I would like for us to all be on a similar level, and I'd like for us to just now be working on skill rather than, you know, gear. Anyway, moving on. And this isn't a video to just complain on my own, it's just to kind of highlight why I think a lot of people are responding the way they're responding on Twitter and YouTube. Now there's a lot of changes here. I'll put the link to the patch notes below, or definitely go and check out Jay Oddity's video. He has covered these pretty extensively and highlighted all the goods and the bads from the PvE to the PvP. I just wanted to head down just slightly to the game mode rewards. Now a lot of you guys who I play with, who may watch my videos, are slightly more interested in the PvP side of things more than the PvE. Now this is good. They're improving the outpost rush rewards. Now, as some of you guys will know, pre-expansion, the outpost rush rewards are pretty good. You could upgrade some of the weapons, get it to 625, very, very good, very nice. Get the free perks on it. A bit of RNG in this there, but it's good. So this is now improved, and they have slightly improved the gear score range for players. As you'll probably find, is that most gear score items are very low on your outpost rush caches. Potentially a slightly interesting one. I'm not sure I personally love it. I think 3v3 has been great, but I have seen a lot of people win trading 3v3 arenas, so this is potentially because of that. We originally wanted a 3v3 arena to be more challenging space with additional value for the winning players. We greatly improved the PvP XP and souls given by the mode in the expansion update. It was a successful change in that sense, but now our other PvP game modes are suffering, so they are nerfing the 3v3 arenas. It's very interesting to me. It's like, it was a successful change, but we're now nerfing it. The reason they are nerfing it is so they don't overshadow other game modes as much. I think there is partially because of the experience, but it's also, there are 3 PvP game modes. You have 3v3 arenas, you have Outpost Rush, and you have Wars. Wars are player gated for the vast majority of players. And Outpost Rush, for the majority of us, are a Call of Duty lobby. Lots of ranged versus ranged. So for you who enjoy melee, you probably are going to want to take a ranged weapon in there, or you take a 5v5 pre-made. So I think 3v3 arenas have become a really great place for people to go, not specifically for the rewards, but because it's genuinely good fun. So to see them nerfing this purely based on people playing it more, I think they haven't particularly looked at the larger picture here. I could be wrong, but that's my feeling on it. Players hitting the maximum contribution in War and Outpost Rush will now receive 5,500 PvP reward track XP and 4,000 as of salts. Outpost Rush now gives 20 dark matter for maximum contribution players, and the lower contribution tiers have also been increased. I don't particularly understand that. The maximum reward given by 3v3 arenas has been reduced to 1,200 XP and 500 salts. So for OPR, we're going to get 5,000. For an arena, we're going to get 1,200. Interesting. Influence race cash rewards now roll items in a significantly improved gear score range that is in line with other PvP content for max level players. Influence race caches now grant 10 dark matter. Yes, I'm sad it's only 10, but that's 30 dark. Actually, we only had one race yesterday, so that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I would have loved to have been a little bit more of an incentive to keep people going. We have already seen a massive drop off of the amount of people that are getting involved with influence races. I think there is a variety of reasons for this. Some big companies are just running the missions to get the wars. They don't care so much about the races. They don't care so much about PvP. And then you also just have, you know, this lack of encouragement to do it. So dark matter's good. 10 feels a little bit fucking cheap, to be honest, considering like this is like some of the best PvP content out there in the game at the moment. But it is what it is. It's something better than nothing. So AGS, please improve that. Give us like fucking 50. Please let us get our gear. Stop the gear chase. Let us get our fucking gear so we can start PvPing. Anyway, there's more bits on here. That was the main bit. I just wanted to highlight that I think the player base the player base this season seems a lot more heated than it normally is. I like to talk about these things. I like to evaluate. I speak to so many of you on Twitch every day. I've been reading through your comments of like the ban, the ban that I got and everyone got over the 20 versus the 20-man raids and people's opinions on content versus no content versus this versus that. And it's been a fascinating week or so. So it's been crazy to see so many people, I won't say angry, but kind of pitchforks out on Twitter and YouTube. But I think this is some of the reasons why. But there's some good changes coming to Season 4. There is a wealth of content that they have delayed. That's also adding value to it. But yeah, just a quick update video. Hope you enjoy it. The next one we got coming out is 20 versus 20 guild v guild we organized with what we have called the Italian Pirates. Really cool guys on Covenant. Yeah, think about subscribing, think about liking, and I'll see you on the next video.